And it's funny that we bring that up because he gets a shot at the Kyle Allen-led Washington Football Club next week as the Rams versus the Washington football team. Chase, you lead us off on this one. After you take yourself off mute, that'd be fantastic.
I added myself. Wait, are we? Damn it! Who was muting me? Because I took myself off mute and then I got put back on mute. And yeah, so anyways, the Washington football team is in a terrible place. They're in a terrible place. The whole team, is just imploding itself. But the good news is that Kyle Allen still targeted DJ Moore a ton last year with the Cardinals. He had over 1,000 yards receiving. I think it was 1,034 with 4 touchdowns in 13 games. Meanwhile, he dumped it off to the running back position over 100 times last year as well, which means Antonio Gibson is still playing. He's still playable. I like it. Outside, I don't want to play Kyle Allen, but I still like Antonio Gibson. I still like, to an extent, DJ or Tim McLaurin. I mean, I think that the biggest takeaway is that Antonio Gibson is going to be a thing. And I cannot wait until he becomes the top 5 running back next year in 2021.
Chase, what do you got? Or Chase, Calvin, what do you got?
Yeah, I like that take. I actually really do like Terry McLaurin rest of the season. I don't know in this matchup. I assume he's going to draw Jalen Ramsey here, so that could be it could be problematic for him. He should get target share though. I love the Gibson call. I think this is a Tyler Higbee week. We've talked about that a few times. I think Tyler Higbee is the kind of guy that when they have a matchup where the other team is really good or really bad against the tight end, I think the Rams are perfectly fine changing their philosophy, going tight end heavy, and Jared Goff actually produces pretty well in those matchups, just like they did back with the Eagles a couple weeks ago. So I kind of like that. Now I'm avoiding the Rams backfield almost completely this week. Henderson, Brown, it's been back and forth. Now Akers is getting thrown back in the mix. I like Akers a lot, but I don't trust any of them at all this week. And with Dingus is back. There you
go. What do you got, Mike? What are you looking for in this matchup?
So my big thing is I get nervous about the Gibson call, and I love Antonio Gibson, but I think using stats that include Christian McCaffrey and applying them to any running back is dangerous. I think that when you look at Gibson overall, I think that he's a hell of a player. I think he's a year to a year and a half out, still not finding the holes the way that he should. I am actually going to go ahead and roll the dice going against Calvin, and I'm going to play Henderson in this game. I missed the call last week on him. I think he's going to bounce back this week. This is a big Darrell Henderson game. I think that this is a game where they don't have to rely on putting up points. I think Washington's going to just flat out shit the bed. I don't see them scoring more than 11 points in this game maximum. I just think they're going to be hot garbage.
I think we need a bet.
No, we can do a bet all you want. Which one you want?
I don't know. Let's hear from the group chat. What bet should we put out? I'm okay with the mustache, so please don't put that out. Like Troy hates a mustache, but I think we need to make a mustache, or we need to make a mustache. We need to make a bet on this live stream.
I look sexy in any facial hair, just so we know. It's the face. It's not the hair that makes me look good. It's the face.
It's Henderson over Antonio Gibson or Gibson over Henderson. I got Gibson.
Oh, you want to go Gibson over Henderson? I'm sorry. I'm trying to actually step out here. Pat Mahomes pick. No, Gibson over Henderson. That's a little.
That's what you were saying.
No, what I'm saying is that Darrell Henderson's going to outperform consensus. Not that he's going to outperform Gibson.
Okay.
You're getting both. No, we can do that pick. If you take Van Jefferson over Terry McLaurin while we're being assholes on the live stream, we can do that. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that Henderson is a guy that I'm looking at to outperform the projections at this point.
And I'm not coming back. No, I'm just kidding.
You can if you want to.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I think realistically this is going to be a ground and pound game for the Rams. I don't think there's really much to worry about from the Washington football team on the offensive side. I think you're looking at 2 weeks out before any of these guys put up any points. I don't see them doing much but kicking field goals this week against this Rams defense. So overall, I am avoiding the matchup as anything that's going to be a high-end play this week.
So you think Henderson is going to do more than just, field goals?
I think Henderson is going to be 50 yards and maybe a touchdown if they're getting close. Yeah. And I just don't think Washington puts up shit this week.
So let's make a bet on this podcast with Dynasty Vipers right now. Come on.
All right. What do you got? No, let's do it. Let's do an over on Henderson because I'm not giving you Henderson against Gibson. You know damn right well that's not a smart bet.
Let's go over under. Matt, let's do an over under on Gibson. Where do you put it? Or Calvin, either one.
Over under on Gibson against the Rams. Let me just take a look at some of these previous matchups for Gibson here to kind of give you an idea of where he is. So you guys going total yards or rushing yards in this matchup?
Give me PPR points. I'm thinking 10?
So right now, Gibson's best week actually came against the Ravens, where he had about, what do you say, 24 points?
Go ahead.
I think he's about 18. He had about 46 yards rushing with a touchdown, but he had 4 catches for 82 yards in the receiving game. So I would set that over under for the Rams, considering everything. 18. Let's go 17 PPR points.
I'm going to go 16.
Yeah, I was going to say 17 without the touchdown. That's where you would be.
You're still trying to shave that 16, aren't you, Chase?
Well, 16 was where I was sitting at, but I'll go 17. Fuck it.
I'll take the under.
We'll set the over. We'll set the over under at 16.5.
I'll take the under.
Obviously, I'll take the over. What's the bet? What do you guys have as the bet? I'm not going to obviously, do anything crazy. Like, we already have crazy bets set up. But what are you guys thinking? Should we come back to it?
We come back to that here. I just want to get Jeff's opinion. You guys think about this for a little bit. Jeff, what are you looking for in this matchup?
I mean, honestly, Washington, the big question mark, how does Kyle Allen do? Is he really going to do better than Dwayne Haskins? Haskins was horrendous. So I would think so. Either this game or long term, what I really want to see is how Alex Smith does. Come back a year. But for this week, I do think Terry McLaurin's going to go off. They're going to run him in slants like they've been doing, ins, crossers. Kyle Allen will just get him the ball. I would do the over on Gibson because, with Kyle Allen in there, get the ball into your playmaker's hands.
Yes.
Steven Sims is going to be out. Rely on McLaurin and Gibson.
That is something sorry.
And for me, my match.
On the Rams side, though, I'm not playing Henderson at all. McVay loves Malcolm Brown, and then Cam Akers is the perfect week to get him working in.
And just to kind of touch on this, the thing I'm watching is that Jalen Ramsey versus Terry McLaurin matchup. I will never bench McLaurin again. I took him out of my lineup last week for David Johnson against that Baltimore defense and Marlon Humphrey. And I was like, you know what? This is a bad matchup for him. I'm back. McLaurin's matchup proof. He's like DeAndre Hopkins. He's quarterback proof too.
Yeah.
So I'm watching that McLaurin. I'm watching that Ramsey matchup, and I'm going to watch McLaurin embarrass Ramsey for this week. That's what I'm watching for in this matchup. Panthers fell.
Who's McLaurin remind you of? Anybody? Like, does he remind you of anybody? McLaurin, that is. Because I can't find a comp. I'm trying to find comps, and I can't find a comp.
So I don't know about for his size, skill kind of matchup, but for a receiver who was underappreciated, who was surprisingly better than people gave him credit for, I'm going to go with a former Green Bay Packer wide receiver, and I'm going to go with Sterling Sharp as my comp for Terry McLaurin here. everyone forgets how dominant Sterling Sharp could be at times. And everyone forgets how good he was. And I think with Terry McLaurin, that's another guy we forget how good he actually is and what he can actually do on the football field. Now, we forget about Sharp because of the injuries and stuff that derailed his career and cut it short. But when you look at the two, anytime these two guys can take over a game, but you don't mention them with the elite receivers into the game. Even Sharp at his time and McLaurin right now.
Give me a guy who's still playing.
Yeah, you're so old.
Yeah, give me a guy who people might have heard of. No, I love Sterling Sharp. Don't get me wrong. But I'm gonna go ahead and tag him as Keenan Allen, as that guy who's not necessarily as athletic as you'd expect. Runs the precise routes, gonna grab those targets, make the most of them, but never again. Matt, to your point, not get the recognition that he deserves. I'm going to go with the more contemporary Keenan Allen type, who is maybe not the most athletic. Part of me wanted to go like in the AB comparison, but I don't see him quite there. So I think Allen's the type of guy I'd kind of settle on for McLaurin right now.
He's actually, if you look at Matt Harmon's work, he's pretty dang close in beating press and beating coverage. I mean, you look at AB's comparison and then OBJ's and McLaurin. Like for this year, his lowest PPR total, 11.1 points, and he's faced off against Darius Slay, Patrick Peterson, Terrence Mitchell, and then Marcus Peters. I'm not really worried about Jalen Ramsey.
No, I'm not. To me, McLaurin's matchup proof. He proved it. I'm done. I'm done doubting him. There won't be no doubt. He's in my lineup no matter what, no matter the matchup, no matter the quarterback.